Panasonic's GH5 is out, and B&H lent us one to take through the paces. Rather than give you a boring list of all the features, we'll share with you the 5 things we love most about the spiffy new camera. The GH5 is a major update to Panasonic's popular mirrorless camera line. It touts so many new features that can make your head spin. It looks pretty different from the GH4, being bigger and beefier, but all the real magic is on the inside. Here's our top 5 list of magical things we love about the GH5. Number 1, 10-bit color depth for 4K and 1080p. This is the biggest feature that's the talk of the town. Recording with the same quality as much more expensive cameras, you can color grade your footage like there's no tomorrow, capture HDR-ready footage, and make green screen keying a breeze. It's seriously a breakthrough for low-budget filmmaking. Number 2, internal optical image stabilization. Sure, the GH5 is not the first camera to feature image stabilization built right into the camera, but this is the best internal stabilization we've ever seen. We put the Zeiss 50mm on the GH5 and recorded a sample with and without image stabilization turned on. And wow, that's some super powerful stuff. Record in 1080p with extra teleconversion on, and you can see a humongoid difference. Things get even crazier when you attach a Lumix lens with its own built-in stabilization. The stabilization from the camera and the lens work together to give you a ridiculous amount of smoothness, giving you super smooth shots by hand. Onto love number 3, the aforementioned extra teleconversion. Okay, sure, the ability to crop into a high-resolution sensor to get a tighter shot without any digital zoom was also in the GH4. But now, with a 6K sensor in the GH5, you can zoom in even further. This turns your one lens into multiple lenses. When recording in 4K, you get a little bit of extra zoom with extra teleconversion on. But in 1080p, the amount you can zoom in is pretty insane. You can do much more with a single lens this way. Not to mention there's this cool feature called live cropping. Live cropping essentially allows you to take advantage of the sensor resolution to create a high quality, super smooth animated zoom. You set a start zoom level and end zoom level, and off it goes. While it can essentially do the same thing in post, we personally think this is pretty damn nifty for smooth moves straight out of the camera. Love number 4, Waveform and Vectorscope. Those upgrading from the GH4 now finally can check their exposure and color balance accurately. You can now more easily identify exposure in different parts of your image, as well as tweak your white balance with confidence. It's not quite perfect, with the scopes being huge and blocking a lot of your view while you have it on screen, without options to resize them. Hopefully it becomes a bit more flexible with firmware updates. The GH4 was no slouch in the high frame rate department, but with the GH5, you now have a solid boost from 160 frames per second to 180 frames. And even better, switch to 4K mode and you can record up to 60 frames per second. This was totally unheard of for a camera of this size, but now you've heard of it. These 5 features of the GH5 have made us fall in love with the camera. But wait, nobody's perfect. There are things that we don't love so much about the GH5. And we'll share that with you in the next video. Do you own the GH5 and have your own list of things you love about it? Share them in the comment section below.